Welcome to another episode of Million Hour Life. I'm your host, Eric Butts, and we're going to talk about everything longevity related. And today we're lucky enough to talk to someone who's going to open our minds because part of living long is having a healthy body, but it's also having a healthy, clear mind. And we are going to talk today to Betty Berry, who is, in my world, a little bit of an ayahuasca wizard. She's done ayahuasca at least more than once to where I kind of want to understand the experience and get a better understanding of what ayahuasca actually does and how it helps. So, no further ado, want to welcome my guest, Betty Berry. How are you today, Bet?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm awesome. Glad to have you here. Before we get started, let's remind everybody we're not trying to give like medical advice or tell anyone anything that's going to cure anything. Normally, I say before you do anything the show says, consult your doctor. Today, I'm going to say consult your shaman. Before you do anything you hear today
Or
on
both.
Million Hour Life, consult your shaman. So let's start with, where did you first hear of ayahuasca?
Okay, so it was about probably over 10 years ago I started looking into it.
Shit.
But it's something that, it's kind of a scary thing. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. Most people know it's not fun. Some people are like, "Oh, you're going to do some psychedelics and it's so cool." But it's really not about it.
No.
It's not. It's absolutely different.
You're going to go on a trip, but it's not going to
so
be the trip you're used to if you've done other psychedelics.
It's not going to be the trip that you want it to be. I mean, you set your intentions, but she's going to give you what she wants to give you. Like Mama
and when
Ayahuasca.
you say she,
Mother
you mean the
Ayahuasca.
shaman?
I mean the
You
Mother
mean
Ayahuasca. The plant
Mother
itself.
Ayahuasca is going to give it.
Yeah.
Got you. So you kind of prepare yourself and you set what you're hoping to get from ayahuasca, and then ayahuasca is going to say, well, I know what you wanted, but here's what you get.
Because she's saying, here's what you need.
Interesting.
And to be honest, when I went into it, I decided that I was just going to set my intentions to get what I need. This way I wouldn't be disappointed. And I wouldn't be trying to work on something that wasn't supposed to be being worked on.
Yeah, no expectations. Very smart, Bet. You were doing something you had no idea what you were doing. So why wouldn't you want to do that for the first time with no expectations? So smart.
Right. I just wanted to go in there and I just wanted to say, I just basically prayed and asked her to just give me whatever it is that I needed. Because like I said, 10 years ago, I started looking into it when I had, I had a little, not really a deep depression, but I had lost a lot of property and a lot of money. And I just was feeling like a failure kind of. And I just was a little bit upset with myself. And it was hard for me to get away from. So I started looking into it then. But then I pulled myself out of it like I normally do because I'm pretty good at just living.
Because you're a Philly girl who don't put up with shit, including her own shit. So
that's right. Exactly. I can't even put up with myself sometimes.
Yeah.
So I looked into it a lot back then, and then I just waited. I don't know. I just didn't go. I don't know why, to be honest. I just kind of kept living and living. And then I decided to move to Tennessee a couple months ago. And I think I really missed my family. I mean, I just like left my job that I loved and I just kind of just went. So I thought maybe I was getting a little, not really depressed, but I was becoming kind of a maniac a little bit. Like, not that I'm always a maniac, but a fun one. I meant like, I was kind of getting anxious. I was having anxiety. I was missing my family. And I started thinking maybe I'm just menopausal because at my age. And then I just thought, you know what? Something popped in my head and it said ayahuasca. And I started looking into it again. And for like 2 months, I just knew that I needed it. So I just started looking into different retreats. I looked into about 6 of them. There was one that I really wanted to go to because I had a friend who's been going there for like over 30 years and she stands by it. So I went to that place first and they don't take people who do it on the first round. So I had looked into a couple other ones and I had another girlfriend who went to this place and these people were beautiful people. They were Americans who were in Costa Rica. They're
called expats.
Oh yeah. So they've been doing it for 11 years and they had a great story of their own. And I decided that that's where I was going to go. I kind of went on the last minute. I basically booked it maybe October 15th, and I was leaving on the 20th. And I just,
how much were you like nervous between the 15th and 20th, or was it more excitement? And
I was really nervous. So I started looking around the beginning of October. So I was eating well and doing things that I'm supposed to do before then, so that I would make sure that if they said, okay, you can come now, that I was ready. So when I was really nervous though. I mean, I was messaging them every day, like, can I eat this? Am I getting this right? Is it like, I was worked up a little bit.
And let me ask you, stop real quick on that. Did they tell you to get rid of alcohol? And if they did, how long before you went were you advised not to drink?
Yes. So usually they want you to stop they want you to try to stop between 2 and 6 weeks. I only had 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say days.
And I'm going to be honest. I'm a drinker. I like to have fun. So I think 7 days is the only amount of time. Yeah, it had to be 7 days. Like that was the least amount of time that you could not have alcohol, processed foods. But it's really crazy. But I haven't even had a drink since I came back, and I don't even want one.
Oh shit! So
it's not something I was looking to do. I was not like ever an alcoholic. I just like to have fun. But even when I'm out, I went to 2 concerts. I went to 2 parties. I've been out like bowling. I just don't want to drink.
I want to stop for a second because I want people listening to really kind of soak that in, right? Because what you're saying is you went there, you set intentions, but just to get the most out of it that Mother Ayahuasca would give you, not to stop drinking. Yet something, and you just said you were supposed to take a while, but you only took 7 days. Yet when you were done, you now haven't drank since. Just for what you got from the plant medicine is, I hope people who maybe are listening to this that actually have a drinking problem realize like, oh shit, maybe this is something I should put in myself instead of slowly destroying my liver.
Absolutely. I didn't think of it that way, like I said, because I mean, I would only drink on the weekends, but I like to drink and have fun. Yeah. But I'm having so much fun now without drinking. I don't even think about it. Like if someone offers me a drink, I'm like, you know what? I don't even want one. I just don't.
Now, is this your first psychedelic experience, or have you done mushrooms or LSD or anything other psychedelic? If you don't mind talking about it.
No, I don't mind. I don't care. You know me, I'm free. Okay, so I did mushrooms hundreds of times.
Okay.
I mean, I would say, to be perfectly honest, I've had a really rough past in my 20s with some things, and I never realized it because I'm always a very like, nothing really gets me down. I don't really think about like drama being like as dramatic as it is. But if I told my story to somebody, they would be like, oh my God, like, but it never really bothered me. But I really, as I look back, I feel like taking mushrooms, maybe once a month or whatever with my friends, just hanging out, I really feel like that may have had an effect on me being so positive and
open.
Right. And I did do some acid when I was like younger, a few times, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would do mushrooms tomorrow if I felt like it, because
here's what I want to know, right?
They're natural, they're good for you.
Yeah, here's what I want to know: like how close, if at all close, is mushrooms like a deep dose, what I call a heroic dose of mushrooms, compared to ayahuasca, or is it like apples and oranges? You can't even compare it.
They're absolutely nothing alike.
Because everybody thinks it's like this trip you're going to go on.
Oh, you're
and I know it is, but yeah,
you're definitely going to go on a trip. But it's absolutely not like a mushroom trip. The only thing that I think would be remotely the same is that you do see patterns, the lights, the way they kind of look like waves sometimes, the different colors, the prisms. That is kind of like the only thing that goes together.
Okay, speaking of lights and colors, I heard lots of people refer to the lights and color part as there, a lot of times when you get in there, meaning once you're like at the peak part of the ayahuasca dose, you'll see a light part and a dark part, which I would have thought you go to the light part because that seems like most of the advice was pay attention to the darker side. Is that familiar or register with you in any way?
So with me, I feel like, so I did, okay, so when I went, I did 3 ceremonies with the medicine.
You mean one day, one day, one day?
Yes. So I went there on Monday. I did it on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Okay. Day in between. Makes sense.
Yeah. So, because it's like kind of like a rest day, you kind of talk, you do a share circle, you talk about, like what happened to you, gives you time to soak in everything. To be quite honest, I feel like like I said, I was going a little crazy before I went there. And I feel like I've always been a very on the go person. I don't stop. It's like my life is fast forward, like Kenny Chesney sings. You know what I mean? Like I'm always
Lived it
doing
with you,
something.
some of it, that you never stop. I couldn't believe you moved to Tennessee. I'm like, Tennessee can't handle her. She's way too fast for Tennessee.
I know. I plan on tearing this town up.
You should.
So the first ceremony, I actually passed out. Like the medicine is so strong, and it's very hard to explain. I thought, oh, I do mushrooms like pretty not often, but a lot. I've done them so much
No,
that I thought
these
I'd be
rookies
totally
don't know what
fine.
I do.
Right. However, I also have low blood pressure, and I kind of forgot to ask about like the mixing of those. So, and I'm not the only person that passed out, but I passed out. I kind of came to, and when I came to, I seen these 2 really dark, like spiritual animals. They were almost like dogs, like, but dragon dogs. And they were like with like snake tongues that were like facing each other. And it was really scary. When I woke up, I mean, they were waking me up with water and stuff. When I woke up, that's all I could remember is seeing them. But the crazy thing is, right after that, I was like super happy and totally fine. I kept talking to Mother Ayahuasca because I kept asking her to give me what I need to, why am I all of a sudden so anxious, and like I
Are
wanted
you
to
saying
calm.
something out loud, or is this just what you know you're saying in your head?
I was talking in my
Okay.
okay. So I should back up a minute. So in the ceremony, you're in a maloka, and it's a building. Got a pyramid on the top of it. They buried crystals underneath of each section of it, which is really cool.
Okay.
And you get like a mat, a bucket to throw up in, because you're probably going to throw up. Your water. Some people even have like diarrhea and other problems.
I've heard it either comes out one way or the other usually.
Right, you're purging, you're detoxing your body from everything. And
I've also
and
heard it's the only time in your life you'll look at someone throwing up in a bucket and feel like they're lucky. Because if it comes out the other end, it's way tougher to deal with than just purging, throwing up, and moving on.
probably. I mean, I was trying to focus on myself the very first day because like I said, I wasn't sure what I needed. I just knew that I needed something. But I
So
also
I got to stop you because something you said would have scared me, and I just want to know how this works. So I knew about the vomiting part, and then you said the passed out part. Was there someone kind of watching over you the whole time? Because if you pass out and then you throw up and you don't get rid of it, you're dead.
Right. They're actually, so there's 2 helpers. So it's a very small ceremony. They only allow 12 people so
Okay.
that they can pay attention to all of us.
Perfect.
We have the shaman, the two shamans, and then we also have 2 helpers.
So 4 people makes sense.
They were very aware of everything that was going on.
I feel a lot more comfortable now, Bet. Even though you didn't die, as you're saying it, I'm like, who's watching my friend Betty?
Well, you know what? If I died, that must have been what I needed.
You'd have been like, I asked her. I just told her, give me what I need.
So there was another guy who's now a friend of mine. He was sitting right next to me. He literally, I heard him pass out. And 30 seconds later, I passed right out right after them. And they were right on top of us both. Cool. So it
okay,
made
all
me
right,
feel
then that happened. You passed out, you woke up. Now we're back to you passed out, you woke up. Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, I passed out, I woke up, I saw those two little demon things, and I kept thinking like it was being evil sucked away from me. I kind of felt like it was something evil that was just being taken away from me. The rest of the time I had a really good experience. I didn't remember much of it other than I kept going in and out, and I kept seeing like this ban of like sports stuff. I mean, I love my Eagles, but I kept seeing like all different sports teams go by my head. It was like really odd. And then I remember thinking about my son, seeing if like I kind of was asking Mother Ayahuasca, like, is he going to be okay? I mean, he's totally fine. And I don't even know why I was asking that, but I guess it was just what was coming to me. Right, because I'm a mom. I started asking about, how my kids are doing and everything. And I just was really happy. Like the rest of the time, I kept fading out.
I'm just so happy to know Mother Ayahuasca is an Eagles fan, because you said, give me what I need. And she gave you the Eagles. So.
Right. She gave me the Eagle symbol. And then I kept seeing like just like all the sports teams. It was really like weird. And then I seen like a prism of like all these different kinds of lights. So this is on the first night in the Maloka. So I kept getting out of it that she was just telling me that I needed to rest. Okay. Like the whole time. I think like as I kept talking to her, she just kept saying, you need to rest. Like I needed to rest and calm down. So I just basically went through that night with just like sitting there and meditating and just seeing what was going on in my head. And like just knowing that she was just telling me the rest the whole time. So when I went into it the second night, which was Thursday, and by the way, I was really happy for some reason. Like I couldn't get the smile off my face. I was just like, I was just happy,
Like I threw up all night. Now I'm so happy.
Well, no, I didn't throw up. I actually, I passed out. That's the only thing that happened to me that night. The second night, I took a little bit less of a dose because I was worried about passing out and I didn't want to not remember everything the way that I didn't the first night. So I had sat there, I set my intentions. After we drank it, I kind of sat there and I had happened to get up to go to the bathroom, which they walk you so to make sure you're okay. And there was like a poisonous snake like right outside of the bathroom. And I was thinking, is this really happening? Or is it like something that I'm just thinking is happening? But I knew that it didn't hit me right at that point. So I kind of thought it has to be like a real snake. So they had called somebody from like the hotel to get the snake and stuff. And I was like, and then I went back to my Maloka. I sat there and she just started telling me like, everything's going to be okay. You've rested. Like you need to meditate on what you want in life. I started asking her like, what was my next career move? Because I'm, I moved and I needed something new and fresh. And then my mom popped into my head. I just seen her there and she called me a weirdo. And I was like, that's definitely her.
Did she frequently call you a weirdo, or was that the first time you heard her?
No, but she was just very like, she always just said things that came to her. So the things that came out of her mouth, sometimes I was like, okay. So I basically was like, okay, thanks for stopping by. Moving on. And then the whole time I was just having a really good time. I was just like kind of sitting on my mat and I was just kind of dancing and like, I was just having fun. Like I wasn't getting like any of the real
deep, like you're just like then
spiritual, right? I was just kind of like relaxing.
You're not the first person I heard say this, Bet. A lot of people say if you take a big dose the first night and then a smaller dose the second night, Mother Ayahuasca kind of gives you the night off and lets you just enjoy it and not take it as seriously as you did when you took the bigger dose.
So that's good to know because I didn't know that. And I thought that I was the only person that did that. So
I'm not
planned
speaking.
on
I got
getting
to be
up.
honest. I never took ayahuasca. I just watched 100 videos about people who took ayahuasca.
I planned on getting up and taking a second dose because you can take a second and a third dose in the ceremony.
Got it.
But when it was like time to get the second dose, I kind of realized that I didn't really need it. You know what I mean? So I decided maybe I wouldn't do that. And then I would just take a full dose the next time.
Yeah.
So I was just really happy. My cheeks hurt from smiling so much. I was just like really happy that like she was just telling me that everything was going to be like, is fine. And then on the third day is when I had the worst day of my life.
Oh shit! I didn't think we were going there, but I love
You
that
know
you
what?
can explain this.
It was terrible. I remember, so I sat in another part of the Maloka at that time. And so they blow a lot of smoke to keep the evil spirits away.
So I've heard this.
I didn't know if what's that?
The RAPE with the or Hape. It's pronounced
Hape.
that. Is that the smoke that you're talking about?
No, that's not a smoke. That's something different. So Hape is
tobacco.
Hape is like a powder. It's like it's plant medicine as well. I take that too. When I meditate, so it's something that you blow up your nose.
That's what I heard.
It's like a powder. You stick it in this little pipe and you blow it up your nose and it kind of like hits your brain. It sounds crazy, but yeah, it just kind of like wakens you up. It almost like when you blow it up your nose, you have to blow it up your nostril and then you have to blow it up the other one really quickly because you won't want to do it because it hits you so fast. So you have to like, if you're doing it yourself, you have to do them both really fast. But it kind of like
no double. You can't just go boop and pop it up both at the same time.
No.
I think I just had something for you to invent. You could make the first Hape double doser where someone could just put it up their nose.
I thought about it. I actually thought about it and I looked it up to see if they might have had one because I don't know why they wouldn't have one, but they don't. So
you know me, my brain just invents as we talk. So go take advantage of that and go invent something to make Hape.
Well, I have to see if there's a reason first because I don't know if the reason might be because when you do it, you have to like you can't. The very first time I ever did it, I sucked it in because I didn't know, and I like my throat was just all like this powder brown. It was disgusting. It tasted awful. I was just spitting it out, and I had
to. What else would you do but suck it in? What else would you do but suck it in? Like,
well, you just like you blow it up your nose and then you breathe out your mouth so that you're not like taking it down your throat. It's supposed to go in and hit your brain, not go down your throat.
Does it ever get out of you? Like, then if you're not, do you then blow your nose later or something? Or
well, yeah, when you blow your nose afterwards, like if I blew my nose right now because I did it this morning, it would be brown, like and
so you're not just leaving it up there permanently. You put it up there for a little while and then you do get rid of it. You just don't.
Well, I think it does get soaked into your pores. Like most of it's supposed to stay there. It's a medicine, like I said. It doesn't make you high. It doesn't make you like, look, it doesn't make you feel anything except for like a sense of awareness. It kind of like gives your brain a spark. Like if I did that and then took a morning run, it would be like the perfect day. Because it's like it kind of like wakes you up for like it gets you like ready for the day. You know what I mean?
But you haven't done it like what I was hearing people talk about doing the Hape while on ayahuasca. You've never done them in concert. You do them right now separate from each other, right?
I do them separate from each other. Yeah. Okay. So there is a girl that I know who was at the ayahuasca retreat. She does both. She's a combo practitioner, and she was gonna do the Hape on me first, but I don't know what happened. I forgot. I guess we just completely forgot about it. But she does it right before she does the ayahuasca, because it actually gives her a sense of awakening. Yep,
that's what I heard people say.
Okay, so now going back to the third ceremony, I kind of felt like as soon as I took it, when I was doing the third ceremony, I was looking at the entrance of the Maloka. And I just started immediately feeling like just sick, like sick to my stomach. Like I just started spewing in this bucket, like unbelievably. I mean, it was horrible. I was just
And this is
throwing
time
up.
number three. Time
This
number
is
three, and the first time you had thrown up now.
Yeah, this is the first time I
Okay.
threw up. I didn't throw up the first or second time.
Yep.
And I feel like as I was throwing up, I just kept, it sounds really weird, but I was so grateful that I was throwing up. I just remember puking my guts up and thinking, and I just kept saying thank you. Like I just knew that all this stuff needed to come out. And I just felt like I could see this giant, like worm like thing being pulled out of my throat, if that makes sense. But I just kept throwing up in the bucket, and I just felt so disgusting. I thought I was throwing up all over myself, but I wasn't. I was kind of like, right before I started throwing up, I started feeling like I was going to pass out again. So they rang a cold rag over me. So I think that the wetness from that was like
Pulled you back in
on me. So it was making me think that I had throw up when I didn't. Gotcha. So I was just like, but I kept praying and just thinking, oh my God, this is the worst night of my life. I hate this. I couldn't wait for it to be over. But I was also trying to go with the flow because I knew that it was doing something good for me. And by the end of it, I kind of felt like I wanted a little bit more to come out because I felt like there was a little bit left that I didn't get to come out yet. But I forgot to mention something in the first session. I'm sorry. I was okay. I'm a little bit all over the place, but that's
fluid conversation, Bet. We're good.
So, all right. So before I went to do ayahuasca, I kept getting numb. My hands kept going numb. My hands and my left side of my body and my foot for some reason.
Like a carpal tunnel?
Not like a carpal tunnel. Like I almost thought it was sciatica a little bit, but it wasn't because I've had that because I had a bad back for a while now. Okay. But it was like I kept getting this really numbing feeling in both my hands, but my whole left side of my body sometimes would feel numb. And in the first session and in this last session, I remember when I woke up from the light the first time after those two little evil things went away, I seen this burst of light go into my hands. And they went really numb, like I couldn't feel myself, and I was kind of really scared. It was like almost like a lightning, like just hit my hands, and it was just like making me really scared, and they got really numb, and then it went away. In the third session, after I got done throwing up everything, I really couldn't feel myself at all. I was just like, my whole left side down to my foot, all the parts of me that got numb before I went away to ayahuasca got numb again, like I couldn't feel them at all. Wow. But for some reason, I knew it was fixing them. So I was really like feeling
happy that you were numb.
Happy and grateful about it. I haven't been numb at all since I got back. Nothing.
And how much was it happening before you left? Like how frequently were you feeling numb?
I would say probably maybe once a day, sometimes every other day, but pretty often. Okay. Like it was pretty often. So and then as it was happening in the ceremony, the first time I didn't have any idea that it was helping me. I just was really scared and thinking like, what is wrong with me? Like I can't even feel myself. I remember calling Janae over. She's a wonderful woman, and telling her like I couldn't feel myself. And she was telling me like, it's okay. Like just try to calm down. And then I told her I was really thirsty because I was out of water. And next thing you know, I felt like I was dying. I was just like, oh my God, I'm so thirsty. Next thing you know, she was singing, and I'm like, I hear her singing, and I'm like, oh my God, Janae, where's my water? So I kind of started laughing at myself. And then next thing I know, the helper came over and gave me the water, and I was like super happy. And I looked out the window, and all I could see, not the window, but like the entrance of the Maloka, and all I could see is this beautiful woman that was like Mother Gaia, like a half of Mother Gaia and a half a lion face. And it like turned into like an ape. And it was just like, yeah, it was really crazy. But the craziest thing about it is every time I looked out there, I seen the same exact thing. It was like a beautiful woman on one side and a lion face on the other. And then it would turn into this ape face. And I couldn't really understand.
Did you talk about this with the people in the group?
I did.
Did anyone else say, you know what, I saw something similar, or no?
No, but they had definitely seen a lot of stuff. But some people have seen it, because I got to tell you what happened after that. I seen this book. I found this book. It said ayahuasca on the front of it. I picked it up. It was literally the face that I seen.
Oh shit!
In the clouds, and I was like, started going around to all my friends there, and I was like, oh my God.
You had never seen that book before?
No, I've never seen that book before. And when I picked it up,
goosebumps right there. Holy
on the book, it's kind of like a half a man and a half of like jaguar. Like it was,
which is ironic, because what I heard is the way the people in the Amazon jungle discovered ayahuasca was because they watched jaguars tripping their face off, and then finally figured out, oh, they're eating the leaves of this plant and the vine of this plant and tripping their faces off. So crazy that you saw cougar. And I don't even think you knew that, did you?
I didn't know that. And in fact, I just bought a couple books. I literally just bought this book, and I bought 2 other books that I just opened this one. I didn't even start reading it yet, but I just read another one called Beyond Ayahuasca. That was really cool. And it taught me some things. And then I just bought another one that I'm checking out now. Because I'm really a lot more interested in it now that I've done it.
Yeah.
Because as much as I hated that night, and I mean, it was such a bad night. I'm telling you, so the first couple nights I didn't lay down either, because I heard that if you lay down, it makes you a little bit more, I believe in evil spirits. So a little bit more vulnerable to evil spirits. I think Mother Ayahuasca was trying to make me more vulnerable on the first 2 nights, because I think I've always been very strong willpower. Like, I feel like she was trying to break me down to make me, I think she needed to break me down to make me purge and all the stuff I needed to do.
Now, is there any chance, now that you're looking back on it retrospectively, that maybe like the first time you took a normal dose, then the second time you took a smaller dose, and then night number 3, you were like, I got this, and took more? And maybe
I didn't take more. I took the same amount that I took the first night.
Okay.
Because one thing about me is I'm crazy and I like to have fun, but I'm always very
that's
safe.
why in my mind, you were like, I know what I'm doing. Give me 2 cups this time. And I'm like, maybe that had something to do with your worst night ever. But
well, I did read a lot about it. And I also knew that you could have really, really bad like experiences. And what I thought was going to happen, to be honest, was I thought my past, people call it trauma. I don't really care that much about it.
Yeah, you're the only person I know who, like, most people are like, I don't have time to sleep. I'll sleep when I die. And you're like, I don't have time for PTSD. I'll deal with that when I'm dead. So I'm glad you took a different way, even if it's going to jungles to have to drink something to deal with your PTSD.
Well, I kind of felt, you know what? I didn't really have PTSD. I never did. I always thought it was like really not a big deal. But when people start hearing me, they're like, what? They like really think like, this is some crazy stuff.
I know you, Bet. You're the strongest woman, one of the strongest women that I know, because I don't want to offend anybody. You have PTSD, and you're just such a single mom hustler that you never paid attention to your PTSD because you didn't have time for it.
And that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought when I went there. So this is why I thought that it was going to come back to me. I thought it was all going to come back to me as I was, after I drank. However, none of it came. None of it at all. I do think I need to go back and do a couple more sessions, because I feel like the first 2 sessions, it was telling me to rest and meditate and making me more vulnerable to the medicine so that it can got all the detoxing out of me. And now I think is the time that I need to go back and see what I needed to see on what I should do next, or what, the next step. I feel like it's not over. As much as it was the worst day of my life, because even when I tried to lay down, I thought it was so bad that I even said, screw it, I'm going to lay down and under this blanket. And when I laid down, I felt like all these little bugs were crawling on me, like these like wormy, like long leg bugs were all over the place. I was just like, I could not get out of it at all. Like it was terrible. Like the next day, my friends are like, are you all right? What happened last night? I'm like, it's the worst night of my life. I didn't want to talk about it, but I talked about it to get it out.
This is one of the most
But I
amazing
do
things
know
I've
there's
heard.
something.
Think of it, right? You went and did something that at parts were the happiest time you felt like you were closer to Mother Ayahuasca, yet then you also had the worst day of your life when you've had a traumatic life, and yet you're going to go back and tackle it again. That is
because
insane.
I know that tackling it again is good. Listen,
It's
I
what you
have
need.
not been since it's the best thing that I've ever done for myself. As much as I hated that night, it's the best thing I ever done for myself. And there's no way that I wouldn't do it again.
You wouldn't even take that night back at this point. If you could trade it
No.
to be the same as night one, you'd be like, nah.
I would do that one first.
Oh, shit.
So that I could get out the other stuff that I know that needs to come out, to be honest.
This is why I needed to have this conversation with you, Beck, because only you would say you would have taken the worst night ever and moved it to day one, not got rid of it.
There were so many people who did it. I mean, there was only 12 of us, but there were half of them had such a bad experience the first night that they almost didn't want to do it the second time. Like they wanted to go home. They were like done. But then they also sat on it and realized that it was good for them. And I have to tell you that I still been speaking to them, and they're very happy that they stayed, and their lives have changed amazingly.
Now,
and since I've been back, I haven't had any anxiety. My relationships with everybody are so much better. Like little things can happen, and I'm just like, nothing's a big deal, to be honest. Everything's like so much better than it was before I went.
Crazy. That is nuts, Betty.
So,
all right. So, tell me, what was the biggest surprise you got out of the experience? Like the thing you weren't expecting that you couldn't believe happened by the end.
Okay, so I didn't really have any expectations, and I couldn't say that I wasn't expecting anything or was expecting anything. So I don't really think that I can answer that part of the question. However,
yep.
I am amazed at what this medicine has done for me. I feel like it was kind of bringing out my soul, if that makes any sense. I feel like it was bringing me back to myself. All the things that you do in your life, they keep adding up and stuff, like you just keep rolling with it. And I feel like it was bringing me back to who I am and was supposed to be before I started just getting into everything in life, because I like stuff, I like to get into stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a little crazy, adventurous.
And now it sounds like this totally changed like you internally. Are there any relationships outside of yourself that you got messages that you feel like it helped?
Okay, so my family, I didn't tell anybody I was leaving. I only told my daughter because, some people don't really they don't know about it. People always have their own kind of like comments and things that they say. A couple of my family members, after they found out, they were like, oh my God, you're crazy. You got to go home. You got to take your medicine. I'm like, I ain't taking medicine. I've never been one to take medicine from the doctor. I went on depression medicine after my brother died, right after my mother died, for like 6 months, and I hated it. And I'm very like, I don't want to take medicine. So I tried to take myself off of it. And when I did that, it made me a little bit worse. It was really hard to get off of. So I disagree with taking regular medicine. I feel like a plant medicine is like, it's nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I die? Sure. Could I die from anything? Absolutely. I could walk right outside right now, get run over by a car. I'm still dead.
I'm always like, there's probably a reason for antidepressants, but if you don't start with gym, working out at the gym, eating right, drinking enough water, and you just go right to SSRIs, now I go, well, wait, do everything you can do in last ditch effort before you take a drug from the doctors that could be really detrimental to you in the long term. Maybe go to the jungle and take ayahuasca. In my mind, that's now a step before SSRIs after talking to you. So I love that.
I would never, ever go on an antidepressant again.
Wow.
I mean, I wouldn't. I really only went on it once, like I said. I didn't like that I had to go on it, but I was really just having a hard time with my brother's death. So I figured, you know what, I had to try something. But I also knew that when I tried it, I was only going to try it for a little while. This has helped me so much more in a week than that medicine has helped me in the whole 6 months that I took it. And my body is not like, that's another thing. My body feels great. Like, I mean, I had back pains. I was waking up really feeling tired. I thought menopause was killing me, to be honest with you. But apparently
the numbness one's craziest. The fact that you were numb and then that numbness went away, like that's physical.
My hands haven't been numb at all since I got back. Nothing.
I know.
I feel like my brain's not. I was getting brain fog like a lot before I went. I haven't had none of that.
Wow.
I feel so much better. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who's feeling like there's something they need to search for or something that is like holding them down, like physically. I feel like it's a good cleanse to get your body started on something different. It's like kind of like a new, you know how people say, oh, new day, new life. Well, if you really want a new life, it's definitely a good start.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's 12 people in my little ceremony group, and I can't tell their stories, but I would love for them to tell you the stories because, to be honest with you, it was amazing.
You know me, if they're interesting, I'd like to talk to them. Here's what I wanted to know about that. Was it like known, and does it always happen that the group of people kind of communicate afterwards? Or was that something that you guys just in your group got so tight that you shared contact and stayed in touch?
So I know that my group of people were amazing people, but I feel like with anybody, this probably happens because you're basically opening yourself up to, there's so much love that goes around in the room when you hear people's stories and when you actually listen. And like when you communicate and you listening is an act of love. So when you listen to people and you hear their stories and you feel what's happening with them, you end up loving them just because that's the normal thing to do.
Sure.
And it's a great thing. So I feel like when you leave there, you just still have such a tight bond. And you know about their lives and what they've been through. And they just went through the same thing that you went through. And it kind of keeps you it keeps you bonded, I guess. So yeah, I would say, I mean, I don't know if a lot of other places do bigger ceremonies. However, I did tell this one woman that there was only 12 and she said, oh, that's great. I love that it's such a small ceremony. So wow. I would prefer to only have a small ceremony. I wouldn't
do it any other way. It seems like that's crazy to be. I mean, maybe if you've done it so many times that you're like, feel like an expert, which then sounds like Mother Ayahuasca is going to go, oh, are you? Boop. But yeah, on the first, 20 times, I wouldn't want to be around too many people. It's like same thing on any psychedelic. I think the smaller setting is key in anything.
Oh, well, man, I've been at the clubs and all when I'm on mushrooms, but I'm a very I'm a very free spirit. I'm a free spirit. I'm free spirited. I'm friendly. I like people. I accept people. I'm not judgmental. So I'm very like okay with being. I always feel like if something's wrong with someone, there's a reason something's wrong with them. So I'm always open to everyone until they give me a reason to shut the book.
Love that.
You know? So
if you're not that way, you're not going to like a lot of people. Like, you really got to figure out, no one's perfect, but focus on what's good about them and not just the negative, or most of us would hate everybody.
Listen, most people are assholes. I can't lie. That's a fact.
Yes.
But I feel like they have become that way for a reason.
Yeah, they were babies that just grew up and became who they became.
And it has a lot to do with your surroundings, who raised you, how they raised you, stuff like that, or even as you grown up, you started hanging out with certain different people, and all that takes effect in your whole life. So,
is there anyone in your life?
You got to surround yourself with people that you have respect for, because then you have the same respect for yourself.
You are the 10 people you spend the most time with, so totally hear you there. Man, Beth, this is friggin' crazy to hear so much. Feel like inside information. Like, I kind of feel like I was in the circle with you, getting to hear you describe it so well. So it really is. I
wish you were in the circle, because I got to tell you, you would. Every person that has left there is like, I feel like an amazing change is happening to me, and it's like it's a fact. It's just like I don't know how it works. I mean, Mother Ayahuasca is a strong individual.
Well, here's what's funny. Here's a little Mother Ayahuasca now. Here's a little Mother Ayahuasca for you. The question that I was going to ask you that I forgot to ask you in the middle, I forgot what I was going to ask you in the middle of it, because we talked about something else for a second, was, is there anybody in your life that you look at and you would think you should do ayahuasca? And I didn't ask the question, and you gave the answer. Yeah, bro, it's you.
Yeah, honestly, I'll be honest. I think every American in the world should try ayahuasca once.
That's crazy. Here's why that's so crazy to me. And I'm not disagreeing with you.
It's bonding.
Well, here's what I think. Like, even marijuana, that I don't think is too dangerous for certain people, they could become psychotic by smoking too much weed. So it's like, I bet you that. But then when I hear about ayahuasca, it's like, kind of the more messed up you are, the more of a chance Mother Ayahuasca has of fixing you. So you might be right. This might be the one. Call it drug, because I know it's illegal. It's Schedule 1, so it is as illegal as it can be, even though it comes from nature and it's been around for 10,000 years. Yet, and you can't really get addicted to it, because, like you're saying, you can't do this all the time.
You don't want to do it again. Listen, you don't want to do it again. It's not the kind of drug that would make you addicted. It's because the medicine's not fun. It's not like when you go do some mushrooms and you go hang out and it's really fun and you're like, and then when it's all over, you're like, oh, that was a fun night. It's not like that. It's like, it's the most terrible thing in the world. I can't believe there could be so much inside you that you don't realize is there. But you know that you had to get through that to feel better, like, all around.
It's just crazy.
I feel better. My brain feels better. I've been sleeping better. Everything in my life has been better.
I'm kind of imagining it this way, Betty. You spent however many years you've been on Earth just building the shit up over a long period of time. And then you kind of feel like you figured out in a 3-night experience how to flush out X amount of years of accumulating bullshit, which sounds amazing.
And the truth is, I don't even know how you do it. I don't even know how she does it, to tell you the truth. I have to say she as Mother Ayahuasca, because
everybody says mother and she, so it's not like you're being emasculate or whatever.
I mean, I'm being respectful to her because I know what she did for me. I don't know how to I don't know how to explain her other than that.
I'm going with it and calling her mother too. I'm not trying to piss her off. Let's do it.
Yeah, don't piss her off. I gotta tell you, she's the strongest person I know. Well, she's the strongest. I don't even know what
coming from you. That's all I need to hear. She's Mother Ayahuasca. We're good.
So going back real quick, you asked me if I when I started to tell you about my family, and the reason I said that is because you asked me if the relationships that I've had had gotten better, and that's the reason I started to tell you that. So I only told my daughter, and then after my sister heard I was there, she called her and she got all worked up and, you know, worried about me and stuff. And after my daughter explained to her that, like, you know, I'm fine, she told me, Mom, listen, you know what's good for yourself. You always have. You need to do what you think is best for you. But now they've been joking around with me. They'll be like, oh, because, like, if something bad happens, I'm just like, it's all right. It's not that big a deal. They're like, you definitely did ayahuasca. So they keep, like, mentioning it and saying it like as a joke. But that tells me that the relationships have gotten much better because they know now that I'm not, like, I'm okay with anything. I feel so relieved. And I'm not stressing anymore. I'm sleeping well. I've been out running. I always wanted to run. And the one time I tried to run, I don't know if you remember this. This is right before I met you, I think. I ran to the gym and I hurt my knee and I tore my meniscus and I had to get surgery. So I ended up never doing it again. I went out running 4 miles last week twice. And then I only did 2 miles this week, and I'm going to do 2 miles, another 2 a couple times because my legs were killing me because I ran 8 miles in 1 week and I shouldn't have did that.
Previous to this,
I've never ran. I feel great. I'm like out running finally, and it's been like years since I wanted to.
Sounds like previous to this, you ran more in the last week than you ran in the last 8 years. Is that safe to say?
Absolutely.
All right, I want to talk a little bit about the messages that you received. You know, we talked a little bit about it, that, you know, the setting intentions part. Was there any message that kept coming back to you when you think about day 1, day 2 to day 3?
So I didn't really get a lot of messages. And this was only because, like I said, I think everybody in my group was saying that I had a wall built up. And everybody says that to me every time I meet them. It had to be knocked down before she could start to help me. So I feel like my message the first day was to just rest. The second day was basically, I seen my son, like I said, my daughter, my mom. I think it was telling me, stop worrying about everything. I'm not usually a worrier. I think it was telling me to meditate on what I want. And the third session is when I started getting really sick and detoxing everything. So I feel like once I go back, and I'm planning on going back in like April or May. Once I go back, I think that's when I'm going to get more of a message.
And I know
what I want to do.
What kind of registered and made me think earlier, I think what she said to you was just relax, right? Or just slow down. It was like
she told me to breathe the second day. The second time she was telling me to breathe a lot. And she was basically teaching me how to meditate because I meditate, but I'll be honest. Like I said, I'm like an ADD person. I
meditate every day. I've meditated every day for 13 years and I still suck at it. I'm like, I never made it through 10 minutes without getting distracted.
After ayahuasca, you'll be better at it.
Wow. That's cool to hear.
That's what I mean. I feel like she was teaching me. I think the first day she was just basically, my message was, you need to rest more. I'm always taking care of everything, everybody, whatever I can do, I just do. And not that I don't take care of myself. I do. Like, I take care of myself as far as like I can, but I don't rest enough. And I think she was just saying, like, I need to rest more for myself because as I get older, I need it.
It's weird you said breathe, Bet, because what I was going to say is I noticed in everyone's messages that they got, it was always a 3 or 4 syllable message. You know, I was wondering, like, I've heard 100 messages and no one got, hey, you got to go here and you got to do this. It was a lot of like, I love you, just relax, take it easy, get over yourself. And I heard someone else say it's because it's usually a message you get that's the like length of a breath. And then you said that, just relax. And I'm like, wow, that's the same cadence that everybody says they get their message to be. So maybe just pay attention to that moving forward. Like, look for is it a cadence to the way you're breathing the message that you're getting? Because a lot of people had that same cadence. And it just seemed like the more I listened to, the more I heard that dot, 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 dot was what your message was.
All right. So I want to tell you a story. I kind of didn't want to tell nobody else's story because it's not my story.
No names.
The reason that I'm not going to say any names, but the reason I'm going to say this is because he got a message that was unbelievable. And I still think about it every day because it amazes me. Yeah. And this is why I know she could do things that nothing else can do. So there's a person in the group who had been told that he was going to die. Gave him a date and everything. I'm not going to say like the whole story.
Literally, they were told from the doctors, like the doctors gave him a death date?
No, like
from ayahuasca
ceremony, yes.
Okay, sorry.
Literally took his heart out of his chest in his hand, put it on the floor, a beam of light hit it, picked it back up, the whole story, the whole thing. He was having like some heart problems. So the shaman said, let's check it every day and see how it goes. Checked it every day until he left, and it's been fine, right on point where it's supposed to be, his rate. He's still fine right now. Like I said, I don't want to tell his whole story. I would love for him to
talk. But I just want to understand because it's interesting what you're saying, but I want to.
But that's a different kind of message than just breathe. So that's why I wanted to just say that.
His blood pressure was high, and then they kept checking his blood pressure.
His heart rate wasn't right. His heart rate.
There was like an arrhythmia or something, like a.
Yeah. Okay. So he had it was telling him he had to take care of himself better. And he, like I said, the shaman started checking his heart rate every day after that. And it was right on point every day to where it's supposed to be.
Wow. And so now
that's a message that you can't deny is like literally a message sent from like.
Wow. That, I kind of think that's where that's the most amazing message you can get is you might have been on a road to die and now you may be able to fix yourself by a plant medicine might be the best message we can end with. So, but let's take anything that you're like, all right, we didn't talk about this. And I really wish we would have got this out to someone who's listening to ayahuasca for the first time.
All right, let me think about it. How about the food and the stuff you're not supposed to eat before you get there?
Love that. So let me just tell people a little bit that when you're taking ayahuasca, it's two parts of two different plants, right? The Banisteriopsis caapi, which is the vine of what's called the vine of death, and then the Psychiatry viridis, which is the leaves where they get the DMT from. Now, because you're putting these two things together that ironically wouldn't do anything to you by themselves, it has something called an MAOI inhibitor, a monoamine oxidase inhibitor. So certain foods that you could mix with that could then intensify the MAOI effects and actually cause really negative shit to happen in your experience. So tell us a little bit about what you should and shouldn't eat before ayahuasca.
So I didn't really understand a lot of it at first, but as I started to, eat better and started to feel the way that certain foods make you feel, like processed meat, it's terrible for you anyway. Everybody knows that. I mean, it sucks because it's easy to get to when you're in a hurry. It's kind of like, but it's awful. Like,
worse.
So eating like raw sugar versus processed sugar, no alcohol, no drugs like, obviously like cocaine, hard drugs. You shouldn't do any of that stuff. at least the couple weeks before you go. No alcohol. What else was it? Like nothing like processed at all. No pork. Pork has something to do with, I think it was
the MAOI as well.
Yeah, I think it doesn't break down. I think it breaks down the amino acids inside your body, and it makes it
like
it like will lower your blood pressure. Right. It'll be bad for you if you take that.
It counteracts the Banistereus copy, and I think that's what it does. Is kind of like then you don't get the effects where let's leave that out. But you're right. I've heard pork is a no-go. So
yeah, I mean it's pork, any kind of processed meat, cheese, dairy, candy, sugar. It's best to just eat all organic if you can. I mean, yeah, it's hard. Don't get me wrong. I was at the store like reading stuff thinking, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this? But I actually did pretty good. They feed you when you go to the retreat, they feed you, all your
what
meals.
You can eat.
Yes. And it tastes delicious. I was amazed at how good a vegan meal could taste, because I got to tell you, I ate a vegan pumpkin pie one time and I was like, oh, I will never eat that again. So, but it actually can taste good. You just got to figure out how to make it, I guess. But it's really important to not eat what you're not supposed to, not drink alcohol, not smoke weed, or, even take like medicine,
even, right?
Antibiotics and stuff like that. You shouldn't even take any of that. You're basically trying to clean your body out so that the medicine can like get inside you as a pure, not like get mixed with all the chemicals that are in your body from what you're eating.
Crazy.
So,
that's good shit to know what you should and shouldn't do. Because like you're saying, once you get there, the place you go to, at least where you went to, provides so you can only mess it up before you go. So it's good that you have an understanding of like what you should and shouldn't do a month up to.
Well, like I said, I did it last minute too, but I have to tell you. So I went to New Life Rising, and the people were so nice. And I got to tell you, like even now, like if I message them, like they'll talk to you and stuff. They're like really super nice, loving people. And they even provided me with the recipes that they made and stuff like that. Like, it was really cool.
So that is amazing, man. This has been so interesting. We could do like really, we need to do this again. Oh, I want to be I don't even know. I'm not saying I want to go with you on the next one, because I just don't know. I'm like you were years ago. I've been working on myself so much for the next 10 years. I'm like, I got shit I still need to do myself before I go ask Mother Ayahuasca to clean up the mess for me. But
wait a minute. Hold up. I got to stop you.
Okay.
I'm going to stop you because of this. I did that. I wasted 10 years. I'm telling you, I feel like I wasted 10 years. If I would have went a long time ago, I would have probably did it maybe 3 more times until now, because I feel like it's something that I would do every couple years. I only want to go in a couple months because I know when it was pulling all that stuff. Right. I know when it was pulling all that stuff out of me. Oh, I forgot to tell you something too. Another story. I'll tell you real quick after this. When I felt like it was pulling all the stuff out of me, I felt like something was left. And I feel like if that had happened on the first night and then I did it the next 2 times, it would have been all gone by the time I left.
Complete.
But I think me being so tough, I guess, not letting her get what I needed out first kind of blocked me a little bit. So I want to go back sooner than later because I want to get rid of whatever else was in there.
Makes sense.
And then I would say I'll probably go back every couple years just to make sure that my body is keeping up with itself. And the quick story I wanted to tell you is I went to this real estate class about maybe a year ago. And I was in the bathroom and this little Asian lady was in there and she was super cute. And I started talking to her and I started talking to her because she came over to me and she said, "You're going to be okay." And I was like, okay. And I was like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of, right. I didn't know why she was saying that, but you know me, I like to talk to people, and she's
Yeah.
like, you're going to be sick, but you're going to be all right. She's like, and I, you know me, I always think them little old Asian ladies know what they're talking about. They're just very
Mhm.
smart. I feel like they have
Uh-huh.
some kind of sense of something that, you know, we all don't have. And as I was throwing up, for some reason, I kept thinking of her because I felt like maybe she knew I was going to be sick with something, and maybe me going to ayahuasca was taking it away from me because I was all of a sudden feeling in the past few months, like I said, really crappy. Like I was feeling like I didn't want to wake up in the morning like usually, and you know, happy and bright like I normally do. Every little thing was stressing me out. I felt like I was getting stomach aches. My hands were numb. My body was hurting. I'm like, why am I feeling like this? I literally kept blaming it on menopause. But as I was throwing up, I kept thinking maybe it was taking away from me whatever that woman was telling me that I was going to get sick from. However, I don't know what it is. I go to the doctors every 6 months. I check my blood work. I'm very on top of, like, you know, taking care of myself. I just don't want to take medicine.
I can see Betty calling doctors. Any chance you're a little old Asian lady? I need to go see a little old Asian lady so I can figure out what's wrong with me.
Well, you
Uh,
know, they're pretty smart. And I
I
always
don't
feel like
disagree.
people know what they're talking about, because you know what? Not many people were dying of cancer like they are now.
True.
They're much smarter than us in
True.
ancient times, which is why I
And
decided to go backwards and
and
find
by
out
the
what.
way, they've been doing it much longer. I'm a believer in when something was true a really long time ago and it's been true through history, it's probably always going to be true. And a lot of holistic medicine says, why aren't we paying attention to shit people been doing like ayahuasca for 10,000 years instead of something that was just invented and patented so we could make farmer rich as we slowly
You
die?
know what? I didn't want to say that, but I was just going to go like this because that's exactly what it is. It's
No
crazy.
doubt.
I mean,
I
honestly,
love that we're
like,
talking
go
about
home
something
to
that's
die.
not the only, this is not follow the money. This is medicine that really learn about it because it's not follow the money. I don't get me wrong. These people are making money. They're doing these retreats, but that's not why the drug itself is not about the money. So
It's not at all. To be honest, it's the best money I ever spent on myself.
love
I'd
it. All
send
right.
back all the clothes and all the shoes that I love, and I could show you my closet. It's pretty nice. I'd send all that stuff back and do the ayahuasca instead.
Give it to mother.
That's how much I know that it works.
Love it. Great conversation. Betty Berry. I'm going to call her right now the ayahuasca queen, just because in my world she is. So we got to do this again. The next time you get back, you need to shoot me a text and go, we need to find a time next week to talk.
Okay, definitely. And I also I want you to be able to talk to my friend, the one I told you about.
Definitely. And one of
Okay.
these times I am calling shotgun and going, Bet, how long till you go back out? I'm taking a ride with you.
That would be amazing. Let's have
Awesome.
it.
All
All
right.
right.
Talk to you soon. Have a good day. Million
You
Hour
too.
Life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.